Little People Big World celeb Tori Roloff recently clapped back at critics accusing her of using her children for money. So, what did the mother of three have to say? When you have the kind of social following that Tori Roloff has, of over 2 million, and when you market yourself as a mom influencer, you open yourself to a lot of criticism and negativity online. This is absolutely the case with Tori Roloff and her Little People Big World family. Naturally, as a mom influencer, and with a family that has been in the public eye for as long as Zach and Tori have with their family, it makes sense that most of Tori's updates are going to be about her children. However, some fans think that Tori takes things too far. One of the things that Little People Big World fans accuse Tori Roloff of is sharing clips of her children in potentially dangerous predicaments in order to get clicks. This may be a clip of her children playing in a potentially dangerous manner, or even exploiting some of her children's medical issues for clicks and eyeballs on her content. Another aspect that Little People Big World fans criticize is the various brand partnerships and sponsored product posts that Tori Roloff also shares. While it may be natural to want to leverage her following of over 2 million and turn that into cash by promoting products, some viewers have called Tori Roloff out for these blatant money grabs. Recently, Tori Roloff appeared as a guest on the Well-Made podcast with Kat Kamaleni to talk about a number of issues, including motherhood, walking away from Little People Big World, and more. Not surprisingly, the topic of money also came up. Tori Roloff was asked if she pays her kids when they show up in ads on social media or anything related to Little People Big World. Tori's answer was twofold, as she said, yes and no. According to Tori Roloff, her husband, Zach Roloff, is very financially responsible. She didn't go into specific details, but she did say that her kids will be set up to do what they need to do. Tori Roloff didn't deny putting her kids in certain updates to drive engagement and ultimately revenue. However, it seems she and Zach are doing it in such a way that their children will also benefit from it. So while certain social media choices may be a money grab of sorts, it seems the revenue funnels back into the family, setting her children up for the future. If that is indeed the case, it's certainly a winning scenario for everyone. Zach Roloff shared an update on his relationship with dad Matt Roloff on the latest episode of his podcast, Raising Heights. Time doesn't heal all wounds. Zach Roloff of Little People Big World has not mended his relationship with estranged dad, Matt Roloff, he recently shared. "It's not great," Matt said of the dynamic between him and his father in the May 23 episode of his and his wife, Tori Roloff's Raising Heights podcast. "It's not, like, existent." The Little People Big World stars had a major falling out after Matt refused to sell the family farm for Zach and Tori. Father and son have also clashed over Matt's relationship with Caryn Chandler and other family issues. The father-son tensions were on full display in LPBW Season 25, which aired earlier in 2024. Seeing the drama play out on TV months after it actually happened was difficult, Zach said. "The show ended, the filming ended, and you kinda just give yourself some space. But the show airs 6 months later, and it kind of brings up some old wounds," Zach said. Tori agreed. "That's the thing that I don't think that a lot of people recognize. A lot of this stuff was almost a year ago. And so it's like a lot of this dust has actually settled, and it's just recently that it's been brought back up," she said. While the dust may have settled, the conflicts in the Roloff family have not been resolved. "Nothing's been fixed or anything," Zach said, adding that seeing things on social media made him realize that people are thinking the same thing, and it's a bummer. "People are still in denial and thinking they didn't do anything wrong," he said. "In my mind, it's just a narcissism. So yeah, it's not great. More time might heal. I think you always hope and pray for reconciliation and that relationships will heal," Tori said. Tori and Zach have 3 children, but they say they aren't letting the dispute with Matt affect their kids' relationship with their grandparents. "I think one of the biggest things I would love this opportunity to clear up is the mistake that people make when they think that we are withholding our children," Tori said. There's none of that going on. That's all just internet drama. As for the complicated situation between the adults in the family, Tori says everyone is doing their best. We're all trying, she said. Are we though? Zach asked. That what? I guess I challenge. Like, are we doing our best? Is the whole family doing their best? I don't know. I don't think so sometimes. I think there's times I could have done better, looking back, he went on to say. But he stressed that he wasn't willing to put up with a toxic relationship, especially when the other person involved was not making an effort to fix the situation. Nothing's changed, so why would we re-engage? He said, I have to put my foot down. It appears that Zach and Tori Roloff are officially done with Little People, Big World after all. Zach, the last child of Matt and Amy Roloff, to appear on the show, will no longer star in the TLC series with his wife and children, opting to share his private life via his and Tori's new podcast instead. After appearing on the show since 2006, the 30-year-old father of two appears to have had his fill following a falling out he had with his dad, Matt Roloff, involving the family farm. As fans will recall, last year, Zach offered his father $1.6 million for the family property. But Matt Roloff wanted $4 million and wasn't willing to part ways with the famous house and land. The Roloff farm can now be rented via Booking.com, Airbnb, and more. Matt's decision to hold on to the property and not hand it down to one of his sons has put a strain on his relationship with Zach, and possibly some of his other children who have all left the show behind years ago. Zach Roloff has also shared that being the one child left on the show and dealing with his divorced parents has taken its toll. It's time to take a break, separate from my family, which is well documented, Zach said. Adding, the farm deal went through and just other things in my opinion. Zach went on to share that being in the middle of his divorced parents at his age is also stressful. No one does that at 30, he said. It looks like this may be the end for the long-running series. Without any of the Roloff children and just Matt and Amy and their significant others, the only couples set to appear, would fans still tune in? Matt Roloff recently spoke out about the show, sharing that he is happy about taking a break for a few months, and then will be willing to hear what producers plan to do if the series is renewed for a 27th season. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with LPBW right now. Are we about to say our permanent goodbyes to Little People, Big World? Well, after nearly 2 decades on air, things are finally changing for the reality TV show with the exit of Zach and Tori Roloff. And Amy Roloff isn't sure TLC is interested in renewing the show. However, she's also not saying it's over. I can agree that fans have seen things change in a big way for the Roloffs since their show made its debut on TLC. Matt and Amy's divorce and remarriages, but Zach and Tori's exit may just be the biggest. The parents of 3 previously announced their exit, alongside news that they'll be moving out of the farm where Zach and his siblings had grown up in. It was a huge change for the family of 5, but they welcomed it with open arms. I'd spent a lot of time outdoors, and I definitely want that same experience for our kids, Zach said, referencing his kids Jackson, 6, Layla, 4, and Josia, 23 months. No one's holding grudges, no one's intentionally not going to the farm, there's just no interest. The kids don't ask, nothing we're hiding from them. Season 25 will be the last season Zach and Tori will participate in for TLC. While Zach confesses that there's no grudges, he did hint at a continuing rocky relationship with his dad. He said, "When it comes to my dad, I don't know, that ship all sailed. There's not much of a relationship, just doing our own thing. Time might even it out, everything will be healed, it'll just be different." This departure has left fans wondering whether the show could be ending after so many years on air. It did not help that Amy confirmed that new episodes are not being filmed yet. Following fans' speculations that the show is ending, Matt Roloff took to social media to share his own thoughts on the matter. He wrote, "Nobody really knows at this point. I feel very content and satisfied with the run of the shows and the journey we shared with you all. However, he did admit that he can relate to the reason fans think the show is ending. I do think that TLC did a nice job on the last Tuesday season finale episode, hedging their bets and putting a nice button on the show, and where the family members that still participate stands. Matt Roloff went on to say, I think consensus is they wrapped up the Roloff LPBW Crazy Train saga pretty good. That's why many of you felt it was a series finale. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Little World, Big People right now.